song that we had apartheid in Trinidad and Tobago, that the black community, the grandchildren of Africa, was living under the thumb of white oppression, you would swear that Balize House was owned by French Creoles and that the Prime Minister was blonde hair and blue eyes for the last 58 years. You wouldn't believe, listening to the song this woman singing about the conditions of the grandchildren of Africa in Mova, Bitam, Lavantel, Silots, River Estate, Patna, Bagatelle, Covey, Rich Plain, Mason, La Puerta, Saganga, Abipuja, Big Yard, Scorpion, Hague Street, Point Cumana, Caranage, Never Dirty, Waterhole, Harding Place, Cocorit. You would swear Belmont and Gonzalez, what she's singing about here, Trinidad was living under white oppression. Listen to the words. This is not the condition of the country in Westmoreland. This is not the condition of the country in Goodwood Park. This is not the condition of the country in Victoria Gardens and Admiral Circle. This is not Columbus Circle. This is not the condition of the country in Fairways, Collins Road, St. Clair. This is not the condition of the country in Valsayn and Gulfview. So why is this the condition in the majority of communities that are responsible for putting blackface PNM in government every single time? How come? How come? I want to ask, how come that this is our country, but somebody tell me today, they have two Trinidad partner. They have two Trinidad. They have a Trinidad where you take the jab that you get, the Sinopharm that you get, and they have a Trinidad that's showing off Pfizer. This is a Bayshore condition. This is a Regent's Park condition. This is Goodwood Gardens. This is a section of Trinidad. With dented Friday soldier on. Revolution state politicians born. And often their tragic story brings a journalist glory. No wonder they feel the world is gone. From since the day they born, some call them rebels without cause. Stand by. Social victims of unjust laws. But yet they christen the heroes. Renegades, desperados, forever knocking on heaven's doors. Hear me? Still my music shatters the silence. Harmony to conquer the violence. Big men know when cops approach, fighting for scraps with the cockroach. Young turfs, they're tough, protecting almost every young girl expecting. So tomorrow, next tomorrow, there'll be another voice from the ghetto. Bring the numbers, bring the numbers. Rowley say, when I went, I don't know who came, but when I was campaigning and I was knocking door to door in Glencoe and Westmoreland and Bayshore, he didn't know. He didn't know about Saganga. Rowley don't know about Covey. He know they have a lower Rich Plain and an upper Rich Plain. Rowley didn't know Rich Plain and have water for 62 years. Rowley know nothing about his community. Rowley know nothing about his constituency. He come here from Tobago and he never gave Diego Martin West the representation that they deserve. Social amenities, Lord, heaven knows.
Opportunities are them always close. Can't get what once in white collar. So if you can't stretch your dollar, it's later for the purpose. You're short of it from the grind. Life does rate dignity and pride. Till there's only bitterness left inside. And every day is a hustle. Arguments are settled with muscle. 6 feet deep and 3 feet wide. Children to life keep on drifting. It's something they're smoking or sniffing. Maybe they're trying to forget this life of misery and regret. No one to come to their rescue except April Town and Buju. So they boom boxes, there they go. Drum out voices from the ghetto.
Mr. Mahadio, whose comment I just deleted, who come to say that they like it so. All you like it so in Karani? All you like it so in Chaguanas? All you like it so in Rapai village? All you like it so in Orapuch? I drive down Orapuch West. They have a river 20 feet deep and the bamboo growing from the bottom of the paved river 40 feet up in the air. All you like it so, Mahadio? You're coming to jam your finger in people's eye. And that is why this country can't fix. Because they have all on the ground talking shit to each other. Black and Indian politics dividing the country and keeping people from being able to go forward.
Voices from the ghetto.
Nobody like it so. Nobody.
Voices from the ghetto. I was born and bred in the ghetto. I'm from the ghetto.
And Mr. Mahadio, you had to take your book. I'll tell you why. You see how in America, and for the Black Lives Movement and movements like that, in America, when Trayvon Martin was murdered, you see people pop their Facebook status and say, I am Trayvon Martin, I am George Floyd. You know what it means when you say that? When you channel your suffering brother and sister, you channel them your energy and you send a message to the world and the powers that be that he alone. I remember when Tambu Herbert saying, Shaka, 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 tell them if they touch Mandela, tell them they touch all of we. And the day Trinidad and Tobago could stand up and think that all of we is one family and stand together as one country, that day we will start to change. But we will never get there as long as people like Mahadio think the people who suffering and catching their ass in the ghetto like it so. Brother, nobody like it so. You don't like it so. You don't like that when you voted the UNC into office, they come and thief out the country. Karani, they thief out the airport, they come back and they thief SIS. We have a Disalco that we don't need, that if the man didn't dare, he was going to make a jail, Hafiz Karamat. You don't like that? Nobody like it so. Let me stop the divisive racist bullshit because it's not helping you and it's not helping them. They don't have no community in this country voting race and happy. None. Not one. 510,000 Indian in this country watching Kamala and wondering what the ass they going and do because she weak and she spent and her whole party is shit because not one of them could stand up. A man tell me today, he say you is the opposition. For Kamala to say it tomorrow, you had to say it today. As a fact, I see they put out a poster mark stronger together. They may have a shame, boy, Rudal Monilal. You can't step up, boy, Rudal. You can step up in your party and tell your communication people, stop thieving. We launched since last year, August, Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. This is two arms pulling each other. Our slogan is stronger together. You put a set of picture, a UNC MP, and you write stronger together. Is thief all you only know how to thief UNC? That is all your whole play. And any of the UNC sycophants on the thread who taking umbrage to that whole. Because you're supposed to have the sense of integrity and character to say, shame, that's my party. Going back to my party and tell them, oh, you go do that. Or they're making me look bad. We're trying to pull people on board and all they're pushing them away. But you see, we can't get there. because they twist we in we mind. They shackle we to this racist bullshit. So some anchor to Rienzi and some anchor to Balize and the rest of the people in the country, because they neither fish nor fowl, don't know how to get involved. Politically, we are a joke. A big stinking joke. We're going to get into some serious business tonight. Serious business tonight. But before we get there, Satish Ramsaran, I need about 2 of these. Alright? This one, I don't think it's an original, and it didn't last. It doesn't charge. This, I need 2 more of these. I'm throwing this one away. This here, I might play excerpts from it tonight. This is a board meeting as to how decisions take place in this country for you to hear public officials and what you paying that $100 million for. We will deal with that. We have a lot of things to deal with tonight. But what's going to trump everything is I convinced my partner, Stephen Hadid, I convinced him to come on the show because he watching jokers like Rhoda Barra assassinating his name. What she don't know is every time she draw that 20,000 from NLCB is because of people like Stephen Hadid who worked to get the PNM elected is why she could get that money. You know, but from the time you had to say something that sound different to what the party rank and file saying, if you're in the UNC, they call you a PNM. And if you're in the PNM, they call you a UNC. What they don't understand is every single person in this country entitled to their opinion and their right to speak out and say how they feel. I want to finish my housekeeping before we get down into that. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, citizensuniontt.org, citizensuniontt.com. We've been signing up a massive amount of people in the last 2 weeks, and let's keep that momentum going. Who ain't joined yet? Join tonight, please. I tell Sean Sunarang today, who is the man in charge, I say, listen, there are people catching their ass outside there, and if we had to collect $50 a month from people as their membership, collect that, $1 a day. I told Satish the same thing. Satish has taken over managing the business affiliates because we're trying to bring everybody under one umbrella, and that is something you're going to hear more about later. Felicia Holder, 769-4590. She told me to tell you that these polo shirts that you see me wearing, they are on sale from tonight. You can message Felicia Holder as to the price and whatever. I didn't get that information. I know Kendall Baggy is designing some nice, stronger together t-shirts. You know, when we put out our $99 t-shirts, there's be hot and there's be sexy. These coming numbered. So when you buy one, you'll automatically have a collector's item. Citizens Union Stronger Together t-shirts coming out. We're trying to get them out early next week. You could call Felicia now, 769-4590. They're $99 TT each, or the foreign currency equivalent, but you're going to have to pay for your shipping and your handling. Sign up as a member, sign up as a business affiliate. What does business affiliate mean? You could be like my partner, Reese Lewis. Reese Lewis, whose number is 733-6633. Reese Lewis, R-H-Y-S Lewis, 733-6633. He is my real horse, my real friend, but he owns a company that does steam cleaning and vacuuming of carpets, rugs, furniture, pressure washing, and anytime we in the little construction sector need somebody to come and take care of something, Reese Lewis is the first man we call because he does work to suit your schedule. He will work through the night and leave the key for you tomorrow. And he's a man, his organization, his workers, you could trust them around your belongings. So you need somebody like that, and their prices. I call Reese to do a bed, a rug, and a couch, and he charged me $700, and that is proper heat, steam, clean. His number is 733-6633, and the reason I'm telling you is because he is a business affiliate. Like today, when we had the people who I was doing the video for with the number plates, I didn't even know Musai Automotive was a Citizens Union business affiliate. Satish had to hand me that on a piece of paper. When you watch the video, you hear me say, all right, Satish, take this back. Because he handed me a piece of paper saying they are a business affiliate. Once you are business affiliates, if you have a Citizens Union membership card, you walk in there and you show your card, automatic discount benefits. Membership has its advantages. So I talk to Satish about the charger, I talk about the affiliates, the business, the membership. I get all of this out of the way because I get on to business. Donors, Felicia Holder, 769-4590. To my foreign base followers, please, we need you to dig deep and to help us. Please. We need to grow it. We are expanding into all 41 constituencies, wheels up and down on the ground. We want the rubber to meet the road now, and we have been having multiples of meetings with our members and setting them up to set up Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago agencies in each constituency, bringing it closer to you. To the people who are whistleblowers, who have information. When you see I do a video, and I do a video about bikes, it's to make come and see the cars. I do a video about cars, come and see the buses. I do a video about buses, come and see the boats. Hear me? Focus. Let me stick a pin in the political ADD. If we're talking about jelly beans, don't tell me come and see the gumdrops. Focus on jelly beans. Alright? And if we focus on jelly beans in Belmont, don't tell me come and see the jelly beans in Gulfview. Let's focus on Belmont jelly beans. Because we're not going to get anywhere if every time you come on the conversation, it's just a pelt out a talk. So we're trying to go this way, and you pelt out a talk, and we go on that way, which we get nowhere. And the objective is to get somewhere. So I'm saying, and to the whistleblowers, the people with information, you have never heard me sell a source. You've never heard me give up the person who give me information. I get more information than any other person outside, than any other news station. I am ahead of CNC3 and TV6 on all the things that are important. The only thing they get before me is nonsense from the government, because I'm not in the propaganda business. I want to show you a file. You see this file? I wonder if I can share this, boy. You see that? You see that card? Nip deck. This file here, I want to show you the information contained in this file. Alright? I want to show you the kind of information. Cool? I want to make sure I'm not sharing more than I could. But I want you to see right now. You see this? I have the breakdowns. File still ticking. File still tick. We have real information coming. The only thing I'm waiting on right now for clarity tonight is a beneficial shareholder front and back. Yeah? We have all of the information. So when we lay this information in the public space, it was supposed to be tonight, but we were supposed to get some information. We don't have to wait on that. Eh? We don't have to wait on that beneficial shareholder, but we want to put all our ducks in a row. So as tonight, last minute, I found out that Stephen Hadid was going to be joining us. So I'm going to call Stephen now, and if we have some time, we will dig down in that. One more thing. My mother have an old lady who's asked her for a walker. She need a walker. So if anybody want to help my mother, 754-2390.
Yeah,
Hey, Stephen, good evening. How you going, my brother?
everything cool?
Everything cool. And as you know, as I dial the number, I remember your mom. And because I remember your mom is a pillar in the church, I remember my mom. And my mom called me today to ask me to beg for a walker for somebody. So anybody out there who might be interested in purchasing, it is an elderly lady and she needs a walker. You could call my mother, 754-2390 for further information. Her name is Pat Alexander. Stephen, my brother, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the support you give. Thank you for your strong voice and your strong mind. Thank you for standing up for Trinidad and Tobago in ways that people don't even know that you do. I want to tell you publicly, because I don't know how many times you will do anything as public as this again, but I want to tell you thank you, brother. So you're hearing me, right? And the song I open with is Voices from the Ghetto, singing Sandra, because of a conversation you and I had yesterday. Stephen, things rough in this country for the middle class and the businessmen, boy.
Philip, good night. Good night, everybody. First time I really talking live to my brother here. We go way back. But Philip, I just want to say one thing, that my tagline right now is enough is enough.
Indeed.
We cannot do this anymore. It's like a friend of mine from Antigua called me. She said, Stephen, what's going on? What's going on in Trinidad? It is June 2021 and you're all still locked down? She says, I've been taking reservations for they have a company called Adventure Antigua. She said, I've taken reservations since July. She said, today, no cases in Antigua. all the hotels full, standards at 100%. People in and out the island, and 0 cases. 40% of the island is already vaccinated. It's back to normal. They have a 11 o'clock curfew. I say, wow. I said, no way. She said, yeah. I said, well, okay. Guess where we are? She said, what are you dealing with? I said, we locked down 2 months now. What? She said, what about takeaway or about curbside? 0. Say, what? I say, yeah. I said, this is what we are dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago today. And as a new restaurant owner, because they have many before me, as we see my brother Khalid close down, I mean, I would have been next, for sure. I'm telling you that. They have a lot more that might not be open. What is the recovery? How are we going to recover? How are people going to be socially active again? Every time you see somebody, you're vaccinated, you this. We need to get back to where we want to be. We had enough, boy Philip. I had enough. And a lot of people tell me, boy Stephen, what you doing? How you come out? I say, listen, I have things to lose. I have something to lose. I have something to lose that I feel from the bottom of my heart. They ask me how you get that, how you end up in the Hilton. How I end up in the Hilton is because I work hard, I did a proper proposal, I hired the right people, and I built the place. And today, thank God, they say, from foreigners to local, I have the best sushi.
Now, Luce is the best. Luce is far and away the best sushi on the island of Trinidad and Tobago. No question, no doubt. You've held your standard. I don't mind giving you a free ad. You've held your standard for all these years. And I know your standard. You and I was in business together. I'll tell people that Power Station, you went on to be Club Crocodile, and then you sold it to the people as the edge after I had pulled out. But we went back since, and we grew up together. So I want them to know and I want them to hear. This is one of my long-time business partners. And Stephen Hardy, the standard, he said, if you've never been to Luce, I'm pronouncing it correct? If you've never been to...
Like somebody else tonight, but we go deal with that.
No, tell me what they say?
They call it, the person call it Lucy.
Oh gosh, you're talking about Oda Barrett. Kobo can't eat sponge cake. The girl can't speak French. She barely could speak English. Come now, man. She just talk like she have marbles in she mouth.
Hear what they're doing too. They're playing Destra song. Destra is my friend. You want to know where Stephen Hadid come from? Stephen Hadid and my partner Matthew Desant were the creators of the Eyes Wide Shut. We have always been in the entertainment.
The commission.
The commission presents...
I remember the commission. Good job. Well done.
You understand? My partner Barry Lewis called. He says, Syrian, we have Marshall. I say, you serious? He tell me, yeah. What we doing? We want the brand Eyes Wide Shut. We had just launched. We launched by Round the Savannah. Dar es Salaam.
No, but Stephen, we make a joke and call Rowley the first black Syrian. But you know you are the first black Syrian. Buju Banton. When you was talking Barrington Levy in this country, everybody else was still singing rock music.
But me and your partner Donnie bring third world and put them in the spectrum.
Yeah, spectrum. You're talking thing plenty people wouldn't know and understand what you're talking about. Could be.
Boy, the lady from the Express called me today. I say, you know about the Fugees? She said me, yeah. I say, you know about the late, great Garnet Silk? She said me, yeah. I say, well, we was involved in a lot of things, sure, our brethren and them.
No, but I need for you to do this. I need for you to do this because people will watch your skin color, you're white, so they attack you for that. They watch your last name. Last night I have an interview with Stephen Hadid. Somebody said something about some 1%. I say, you know the man? I say, as a hard-working man from a hard-working family, I know these people well. But, and I want to tell you, every time something like that causes a backlash, it's a handful of Syrians that make it sad and hard for everybody else because your family, I mean, Stephen, you lost a brother, an adopted brother. People don't know.
Where we come from.
People don't know.
Listen, give me 1 minute. I grew up in Woodbrook. Barbara Street. Ask anybody on this program if they know about Mamma Mia. Ask them if they know about the Panthers gang. You know, Philip?
Yeah, man.
The Panthers, Mamma Mia. We used to line around Mamma Mia.
Yeah,
That's
man.
where Haagen-Dazs is now.
Yeah, man.
My father was York snacking on the corner of Prince and Charlotte Street, God rest his soul. My father introduced me and my family to the great Randolph Burroughs. My mother used to take me to church, and me and Donnie had to go by Randolph Burroughs on a Sunday and see the whole family. We came up in Policing, Slammer, Leach, Gibbs. Them is my uncles. I come up in Policing, so when people believe that Stephen Hadid would have gone open Luce today, guess what? I'm a full law-abiding citizen.
No, she watching you, brother. She watching you and she envying because you see, and a lot of them, they think that you had to come out of school and get a public service job. They think that that is the only way to make it. They don't know what hard work is, and she's speaking from that perspective, and they just talk nonsense from that perspective. Because business people, and I want to bring you to here because you made a post yesterday and it resonated with every single businessman in this country. And you made some businessmen who was all for lockdown and all for state of emergency change their tune because what you said and the way you said it, it came across like I really can't do no more. Because there are people taking a hit in this country, a financial hit, that I don't know how many will recover. And what a lot of people don't understand is the middle class, the private sector is the largest employer in the country. If they go down, Trinidad go down. Because the government have no money, we have no income. The government building an entire budget on taxation, property tax, shoe tax, hydrant tax. If you stand up next to a wall too long, wall tax. And I'm making joke, but I'm telling you, all them fines, all of those things that they put in on people right now is because the government doesn't know where else to turn for money. So if the people are generating the majority of the tax fall, what's going to happen to Trinidad and Tobago?
Philip, we are responsible for a lot of people's lives in Trinidad. We're also responsible for their families. We also try to help them and develop them from coming from broken homes. That's what we do. That's what I do. My team is from all over, but my team understand this is your boss. We go pitch marbles together. We go drink something at the end of the night. We work hard on Friday night. We do well. We go home. We all at once. We drink our beer together, and that is the industry we come from. A lot of love. When you're dealing with food, Philip, you must have that deep passion inside you. You must know. You must know that. I don't tell you I don't behave bad in Luce.
But
They have customers that come to behave bad by you.
no, but Stephen, you set examples. As watching, I think I don't watch you, you as watch people and see what they're doing. And I'm watching you driving the same car 15 years now.
25 years.
20.
I'm waiting for getting PBM 300. Philip.
No, but I'm watching that. A next man in your position making the kind of money you making before this COVID-19 thing with a pull-out Range Rover and BMW still driving a LS 300.
The Lexus IS, listen to me, and I put more music in it today. They say, but how old are you, Stephen? I say 52. They tell me a lie. I say, yo, I come from the street. I want to be young forever. I want to be young forever. I tell, but Philip, we grew up all over. We go all over in Trinidad. I drive down Charlotte Street the other day with all my windows down, playing Natural Mystic from Bob Marley, and the street was dancing. However, how much it had. But that's where we come from.
The country too divided, Stephen. The country too
Too
divided.
divided.
Too
That's what I
divided.
mean. Listen, at the
People
end
not
of the day,
rowing in the same direction. If we start rowing in the exact... Yeah.
Listen, Philip, it's all business is business. Let me tell you something. If the general manager of Hilton is a general and a gentleman, he did a lot of changes, he did what he had to do. If I didn't get the support and help from them today, because of the respect of my brand and what I do there as well, I'd be closed. You get a lot of support, you know. I mean, business is business, but at the end of the day, you get your so-called support.
So you close for the full lockdown?
Well, Hilton right now is fully locked down. You or exit. You cannot enter the hotel. You can't even go and use the ATM. So my statement, let me go to my statement, right?
You go ahead, you go ahead. Do you think?
My statement was, I will be opening on Monday, my restaurant on Monday. I did not say the 5th, the 12th, the 19th. Guess what? I put my restaurant to it and call no names. And guess what too, Philco? In the history from inception of Luce, we never open on a Monday. You understand?
Yep.
So we never, so my statement was very deep.
No, but it
and we
resonated.
need to yeah,
It
was
resonated.
deep.
It resonated.
And the truth,
It resonated.
The truth about the banks is the truth. That the banks calling here, they don't care.
No,
The bank don't care.
but based on your post, I see the commissioner put out a tweet, and he said, and he knows that the business community under pressure, and he said, hold some strain, and he actually said it as a businessman, because Gary has been in business for a long time himself. I know Gary as a businessman. I mean, all of us from school days and things, but I know him as a businessman long time. So he understood your plea. He understood your plight.
But Mr. Griffith, as you say, is a businessman. Everybody understand what we're dealing with. And people tell me, boy, you're afraid. I say, hey. Remember where I come from. The top other hadiths ain't doing this. They're not doing it. They're not going to do it. I get calls, boy, you're mad, what are you doing? I say, listen, if somebody don't do it, it will never happen. You understand? It's all about business for me. I love business. I create a business there. The Hilton International recognize and respect what I do. You understand? If I didn't work hard, I would have never have it. It would never be mine. And if we work hard, we get what we want. It's like, Philip, when you used to go to school, your mother send and pick you up. You send a driver to pick you up. That's how we learn. We learn from our parents. We thank God we never came from broken homes. But we deal with people that come from broken homes. And it's unfair. It's unfair what the public have to deal with. It's unfair what a lot of people have to deal with. You know what I'm saying, Philip? It is not fair what we are dealing with. All those businesses closed.
And that's it.
Staff calling me. Listen, the biggest thing I want to say here, Philip, is we could lose our key chefs. We could lose our key bartenders. We could lose our key servers that create the experience for our brand.
So stop for a second, right?
Go ahead.
A fellow named Anthony Baird, and this is what many in the Syrian community not understanding. When you stay back, you empower people like this fellow Anthony Baird, who said you and your people don't make all the money in the country, so what's your problem now? Is you see, and what they don't know is like any other group of people in the country. Now, I give people in the contract mafia stick every day, every night. But I also have to be the one to say that there are many in the Syrian community who live humble lives. There are many who you would qualify as catching ass and doing it stoically. But you're living in a country where, because of the shit that Anthony Bourdain broadcast, that those people did with the olive oil drizzling and with 5,000 and with the most powerful, nobody told them to speak for the Syrian community and say that shit. And it's put everybody in a position where, I mean, in the beginning, I used to get all that half of 1%, half Syrian, yeah, Syrian. And when they come out, like this fella Baird, when they come out, they whole. They don't care, you know. They don't care how racist it sounds. They don't care that they don't like people to stereotype them based on race. But they don't have a problem stereotyping others. And that is wrong. And I said at the start of the video that we in this country, if we don't start pulling together, this country can't survive.
Look, a lot of them, Mr. Baird, whoever he's saying there, they know what life is really about, man. They know if they ever travel, man, they ever understand goodness and what life, how good life could be. But if you never grew up in it, is what you believe that is what life is. If you keep yourself down, you will always stay down.
Agreed.
You understand? We do under pressure, it is not doing the work right, but you don't want to let them go because you're telling yourself, I go make this man a better person. And guess what? You do it. Because this place needs patience. But we run out of patience right now.
Well, you see,
We can't.
Stephen,
We run out of patience. And everybody crying, Philip boy. Everybody.
Yeah, but you see
It's
the people-
first time. I tell my mother today, I talking to my mother today, she say, well, you're getting on bad, Stephen. I say, but I learned from you. and your father.
say good evening. Say,
I learned from all
say
of
hello to Shirley when you see her for me,
I will.
please.
And I'm telling her, I say, Mom, you ever, when you go high-low, when I call it high-low, when you go high-low, we're small. You ever see people with placards begging for food, Mom? She say, you mad or what? She was, today, that's going on in Trinidad. And I tell her, she say, what? I say, Price Mart, same thing. You understand? It was never like that.
No, but the people who doing the defense, Stephen, I want to tell you something. You know what they're good at? They're good at dividing the brethren. So people see themselves as race first. The biggest problem in Trinidad and Tobago is, as David Rudder say, how we vote is not how we party. And that is the biggest sickness that we have as a country. It is the biggest sickness that we have as a country, and it's going to be the hardest thing. And I see a lot of people, and I see in their impatience, and I tell people all the time, unclench your fist. You cannot become what you hold in contempt. We're not going to fix this riling up yourself and pelting stone. That ain't fixing nothing. We're going to fix this coming together. One people. One Trinidad people, one rainbow people. You see how, and I'm telling you, that's how I know. And you talk about Woodbrook, that's how we grew up in Woodbrook. Woodbrook didn't have race. Woodbrook had wherever today was, everybody celebrating everybody's house.
Yeah. Boy, you know, the days I miss, and if people only know those days, the days when it rained and you're outside in your jockey shorts, and you take out the three plumes matches and you start a race with me and Donnie used to be racing. And that's what...
Canal jockey.
You
Canal
don't
jockey,
like
yeah.
the marbles, man? Look,
Bro,
we have to get back there.
you gotta get back
And
there.
let me tell you something, everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. Nobody can tell me they're enjoying what we're dealing with today. July 2021, we're in lockdown. You can't get a proper meal out there. I don't cook. Thank God I have a girlfriend that's cook. And she bring food for me. Thank God I have chefs that I will ask you, you know. At the end of the day, we can't. You cannot.
I want to tell
Most
you,
people don't cook.
I want
You
to,
know what people do not cook in
you know what people
Trinidad and
can't
Tobago?
cook right now? Stephen, I want to tell you something. Right now, reluctantly, accidentally, inadvertently, you've become a voice for a large community of people, the business community. Now in Trinidad, we hate well. We hate with passion. We hate with enthusiasm. We come out to hate. And we will hate on everything. And I don't know where our happiness will come from if all we have is hate. And Trinidadians need to pull back a step and look around. I see in Hadassah Charles McLeod on my thread talking right now. This Saturday gone here, Hadassah's mommy drove to my house from Arima to bring 2 tubs of soursop ice cream for me so I could drop a tub of ice cream for my father, who can't go nowhere. And every Sunday night, I used to go by their family, Andy, who is the fella who sell the ice cream on the corner by we call it Street of Sparrow Hideaway, Simeon Road. On right there opposite Bobby's Bar, they have a fella to sell Team's ice cream. Andy is his name. And I go there every Sunday to buy ice cream to take for my parents. And he can't come out and he can't sell. But you know they send ice cream for me. That's the Trinidad I want to live in. That's the Trinidad I want my children to grow up in. And that Trinidad is disappearing. We're not living like a family in this country. We live in like rats. We're not crabs anymore. We're rats fighting one another for a hole, and that will not work. While we fighting the other people who thieving, getting away, the dish running away with the spoon.
Boy, Philip, I tell you, my grandfather came from Syria and chose to live in Trinidad choose to bring his family here, choose to invest here, you know, live among the full black community. My father and my uncle, they used to sleep in police stations. I have an uncle, God rest his soul, could I tell you every policeman number. I say, what's Walker number, uncle? So, we give any number. What's this one number? He knew everybody number on their chest. Now you tell me, that's humanity. That's where we come from. And they used to give him food, and they used to give him drink, and they used to sleep in the police station. This is life. This is what we came from. You understand? I remember the days I used to hitch to go party. And who picked me up? Carl and Carol Jacobs. And drop me in Glencoe, Big Fest, DJ Squid was spinning on them. Come on. You can't jump in a car now. You don't want to pick up nobody. You want to pick them up.
But you can't, because you don't know anything they have in their pocket putting you in trouble, Stephen. And I need,
you watch them and you can't pick them up.
And
you know?
And when you said that you were going to come and speak out, and I want to say this to you, and I want you to say this to other members of the community, that the Syrian community cannot continue to isolate itself and withdraw from Trinidad and Tobago because people won't know them. They can't just know them as...
Listen, look, we all look up to each other, right? We have a lot of young Arabs today doing very, very well.
Doing well.
You know, and they're hiring a lot of people, and, you know, I mean, they're doing what they're doing. But it's us now. It's our generation. We're going to have to our children. When I say our children, I talk about every creed and race of Trinidad and Tobago.
Well,
what is going to happen to all our children?
But we say we can't speak our until we say how is our children doing for SEA? How are our children getting through with jobs? How are our children going to get attended to if they end up in a public hospital? How are our children having a life in Trinidad and Tobago? How safe are our children when they go out for entertainment and meet their future husbands and wives? How are our children living in a country where you and I and people of our age, when we grew up, your parents used to throw you out of the house until they come back when the street light come on. But you can't do that with your children now. No. You have to watch and look and know. We like helicopters hovering over our children because the country has lost its way. It's lost its soul. And all of the fight down and the fighting, people fighting one another for race and all this bullshit, not taking us anywhere good. And while that going on, $3 trillion disappear. So the government have no money to say to you, give me your staff sheet. Give me your full staff sheet. So I see that you have 12 people that work with you. I can't give you the full thing. I'll give you 50% of your staff. Maybe you could put some too and keep your staff eating. You understand what I'm saying?
You know, some of your staff believe that it's our fault that they didn't get anything, you know, that any grants. I say, but we fill out forms. I say, you fill out your form and you get zero. You understand? No problem. I'll give them the 1,500. You understand? Because they worth more than 1,500. You know?
Why the government not saying that, Stephen?
It's a team.
But why the government not saying that the whole of Trinidad, the way you see your staff, is how the government's supposed to see the whole of Trinidad? Why they not see it?
Philip boy, I always sit down and wonder, you know, what it is. I mean, they have families too, man. The government have families too. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into all of that, but I mean, come on, we need some love. That's all we want right now, brother. We want some love and peace. But Trinidad culture is the first thing, boy, Philip. Plan. You must plan.
You have to have a plan.
What is it? You have to have a plan. What was the culture of Trinidad? What's the culture of us Trinidadians? We do give a F. We do give a F. But we love. We have a lot of love. We have the greatest carnival. We all come together.
Yeah, but Stephen, all of that, I don't mean, sorry for cutting you, but all of that, it getting like an empty shell now, you know, because it looking like all of us together, but we're not.
That's
You know.
it, but that's so we have to start. And
We gotta
I
fix
raise
it.
my voice. I raise my voice because we need to start back to work and feel like humans again.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
take your vaccine. It's a choice. I don't want to tell nobody take or don't take. That's not my business. I have a choice. You have a choice. Everybody have a choice in life. But we need to make that definite choice now. We need to say this is what we need. This is who we are, and this is where we want to go. And this is where we are going. With or without you, let's do it. We have no choice.
Indeed.
We had enough. I'm 52.
Indeed.
I had a cousin of mine leave Trinidad, went to Syria, and he come back. And I asked him a question. I say, you left. And how long you stay away? He said, 25 years. I say, you see anything different change? He says, yes, worse. So, I had to say no more. I see it deteriorate over and over and over for no reason.
The fight don't have
Why must we?
the fight don't have it done, Stephen. The fight don't have it done. We have to fix it on the ground. We have to fix it on the ground. Everybody, each one teach one, each one reach one. We have to do that. That's what we have to do. We have to make sure our words. You know, much times people, I mean, the kind of attacks I get, you know, much times I want to respond to people in like fashion. And I have to remember the amount of people looking on and listening. And they're looking on for an example. And that I have to be an example. Now you put yourself in that position too. Now you have to be cautious what you say and what you do, because you've held yourself up as somebody with an opinion and courage enough to say it. So you need to make sure that you follow through with any other statements that you make, that they are of the same high standard and leadership quality. And I know that sounds like a lot of pressure to put on you, but that's what the people of this country need. And I want to thank you again, Stephen. I know a lot of what you do, and I know you a long time. And there are in every race and culture in this country, there are criminals, and in every race and culture, there are good people. And I know that there are good people in every community, and the overwhelming majority of people in Trinidad and Tobago are good and decent people, and everybody just frustrated and fed up, and we need to light a candle of hope and a beacon for them to find their way. And I hope that you, as your journey begins, that you are motivated to come and do more, because you have a good, strong voice and a good mind. I want to tell you thanks. And I want to give you the opportunity in your closing comments to say as much as you want, take as long as you need.
Well, boy, Philip, I really appreciate this phone call. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people, the reason why what I do is because nobody just pick up the phone and call me and tell me don't do something. Because guess what? Nobody helped me in my life. Nobody helped me in my life but my own family. And if when you have a strong background, there's no way anybody could change your mind. I come up from a strong family. My mother has 4 sisters, all individual bosses in their own way. Right? My father had 1 brother in Antigua, God believe he passed, God rest his soul, and 1 sister passed too. And all of them were always powerful. We learn a lot from our aunts. Our aunts bring us up as men. You understand? And they bring up the women as women. I would say today that my side of the family is very strong, and it could be anywhere in Trinidad. They have a lot of strong families, but a lot of strong families are becoming divided by land, by
Greed.
property,
Just
money,
greed. Straight up greed. Yeah.
Greed. I see what you have what you have, I want. But if you want what I have, let me help you get. Work with me. Come with me. Let's talk. It's so easy. But family is a serious thing in the world, and in Trinidad especially. They have a lot of broken families, but they have great and good families that willing to do things from the bottom of their heart without thinking twice. I do it myself because I know how it feels not to have and want. But how do you get? You understand? You work hard, you put your mind in, you put in your hours, And you do what you have to do. You must know if you're getting victimized by your employer. You must know that. You must know. Philip, Luce, God bless it, have, and I prove to myself, I have only men working for me. And why, Philip? Man is man. I could talk to you and tell you, hey, you're doing something wrong as a man. And you will listen and you will understand. And then when you go home and lie down, you say, "Yeah, boy."
You don't have the feminine touch. You can't reach out to women as workers.
You
Stephen,
listen to me. No, wait, I ain't finished. No. I just saying with men. No. You know women. We love women. Women are very emotional. You understand? My girlfriend have 3 kids. You understand? And you know what I mean? I telling you, women, for women working with me is a different situation. Not for anything. But at the end of the day, we have to do what we have to do right. We have to make sure that everything is what it is.
indeed, lead
You
by
know, Philip,
example.
Philip,
Lead
let me
by
tell you something,
example.
right?
Correct.
Hey, listen, Philip, at the end of the day, this is the country we live in. We grew up here. My parents, your parents, decided to invest in this country. They put everything in this country. There's no way we could allow it and just leave it and leave everything we have here and run to America. It makes no sense. When I tell people I'm from Trinidad, they'll be like, what? Damn, my friend in Antigua, you're one of the most metropolitan. He says Trinidad is reminding of a little bit of New York and the Caribbean. We can't spoil it, boy. You understand? We can't. We cannot.
As long as they have good
Philip,
people.
you're doing a great job, boy. People have get a lot of information from you. So much information and the truth, and they have a lot of knowledge. And let me tell you something, boss. You work very hard to reach where it is. People can say what they want, but unless they know you personally, and like I tell my girlfriend tonight, you just sit down with Philip one-on-one. You will. It's only when you go eye to eye with somebody, face to face, you could feel the energy. You know, talking to you over phone is different than when you talk to you one-on-one by Philip.
Indeed.
You know that.
Indeed, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, my brother. I hope everything sounds good. I hope I was good.
It was better than good, and I will keep in touch with you, and you keep up the good work. And as soon as Luce open, put my name down and let me know. All right, because I craving my sushi. My whole crew. I see Lema McLeod Wilkinson, Felicia Holder, all of them on the thread here. The reason they're here is because they hear Stephen had it and they know sushi is the #1 thing, so they can't wait. So,
boy, thank you, boy. I'll try my best.
Nah, it good.
Right?
It well good. Take
God
care,
bless
buddy.
you. All the best.
Later.
And good night, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah.
Now, it is instructive that while that conversation going on, they have some who choose to denigrate the man just because of his name. Because he's Syrian. And they don't understand that is what starts things like apartheid. And they don't understand that that's what leads to segregation. They don't understand that that's what leads to violence in society. And I know everybody have a better reason to say something about somebody. There was a movie I watched a long time ago. The name of the movie is Crash. C-R-A-S-H. And that show was so hard to watch. Crash. But everybody should watch that movie. I don't tell you anything about it, except that it shows you perspectives and how sometimes what you believe is the furthest thing from the truth. There's another movie called The House of Sand and Fog. You should watch that as well. The House of Sand and Fog is an amazing, it's a hard show to watch. But again, you get to see human beings reacting at their worst. And you get to see what is drawn out of us by society. And we, all of us, I don't care who you are, I don't care how undereducated you are, we all have a responsibility. One day I'll tell my full story, you know. One day I will tell my full story. But tonight, 9 o'clock, starting this video early tonight. I did a video every night this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't stop. I did 3 videos during the day that have crossed 150,000 views. And it's the videos on the bikes and the cars and the boats that showing the abuse by government. And that there are people who would defend it. Not because they think it is right to rob the country, you know. But because they think that they have to defend their side at all costs. And that if you agree that your side is wrong, then you're weakening your side. It took a lot for Stephen Hadid to do this tonight. And it was cruel of some of us to put aside the same beliefs that we want to believe for ourselves. We don't want nobody to see our mother or our wife or our husband or our sister or daughter or brother. We don't want them to be treated as a race first. All your people so and so. Put in the race there. Because you could say that statement, all your so. You could say that about anybody. And you'll be wrong every time. Because no all your so. And I could tell you, because I have grown up I have lived a multicultural life. My best friends have always been because growing up in Woodbrook, you can't be racial because it's not a community like that. In Woodbrook, and the Woodbrook that I knew the 70s and the 80s, that Woodbrook was rich, poor, black, white, red, green, Muslim, Christian, atheist, Hindu, everybody. And I remembered well as a young boy, the buzz that would go through the communities when a religious holiday was coming. Because people started to pay attention to the people that we knew of that religion. Because obviously, we go in there. We will celebrate there. We were celebrating in their yard or in their house. And we knew that people started to put up tents or they started to put up decorations. We knew. Because we knew that the people who weren't Christians who were celebrating Christmas was coming by us. And my parents brought us up that way. My father, who is a full Arab Syrian, they don't get more Arab Syrian than my father, married a woman who's not. And she's not. At a time when that wasn't something that was encouraged. Not just in the Syrian community, in every community. Don't forget, Sakmaraj didn't want Africans marrying Indians. And there have a lot of people in the black community want to keep the black blood pure and all this bullshit. Why it's the Portuguese Club and the Chinese Association. I grew up knowing that there are organizations that speak to people based on their race, and it pulls them away. I know you can't join. When I heard you can't join Chinese Association, you're not Chinese. That's racist. That's racist. There should be no organization, and I don't care what you think, there should be no organization that excludes other people. If you're in a religion and your church, temple, or mosque doesn't allow strangers in to take part in the celebration, your religion is not based on love, and the world don't need it. The world does not need more of that. You see, we want to think big dick life. That's how we live. We live big dick life. That's what Hollywood teaches us. And that's what the media tells us. Live a big dick life. Come around town with your... It's every level of society has their big dick expression. And it is everything. Is the label on your clothes, is the type of watch you wear. I mean, there are people who will spend $25,000 for a watch. And that type of person shouldn't be allowed to breed. You shouldn't have children. You shouldn't bring children into the world. If there is so much in this world that you could live a fabulous life, bathe in champagne, drive the best, and there are so many people poor, and you don't get that it is not their choice, that it is the way the system is set up, and that because you've arrived at a place where you could make an impact, you should make an impact. This is what my father put in my head as a young man. To whom much is given, much is expected. You can't say, I will use all of my knowledge and all of my intelligence and all of my prettiness, my fast tongue, my rapier wit. Listen, when you could talk to people and speak and pick up fast on the uptake, and no matter where, no matter who, like a knife, like a sword, you're cutting sharp on both sides. No matter where, you can't just use that for yourself. You have to use the gifts that you were given to make the community around you better. Because if you isolate yourself in your wealth, you end up alone where you are. Now, people may want you, and you may feel good about that, but they don't want you. They want what you have. And that's not a value system to be proud of. I am not knocking success. One of my best friends is a surgeon. He's probably the best in his field in this country. He's probably the absolute best. And he is a down-to-earth, easygoing, humble, normal guy. And if you don't know what he do, you wouldn't guess. You wouldn't be able to guess. And it is people who live like that who don't have to have a big dick life. You don't have to drive the biggest car with the biggest tires, play the biggest of everything. Because all it is saying to the world is that you're insecure. That you are not capable of standing in the sun and the rain as you. And when people tell you that you die and you leave it all behind, you take it as the things that poor people say. No problem. I hear people tell me it's easier to cry in a BMW than in a B14. I like the joke. It's funny. But as somebody who has had a Forrest Gump life, I have known total poverty and loss, and I have known massive success up where the air is rare. And I have been given, I think, the blessing to have experienced these things so that I understand them, so that I make decisions. Again, if life gives me an opportunity to be what Father Harold Imamsha said to me years ago, be a servant who leads and a leader who serves. Again, to the people scrambling on the backs of the other crabs trying to get out the bucket, that sounds counterintuitive to what power is for. But did the country need another person to use his best abilities to further his own ambition and build a higher wall, a bigger house behind it, and dress in the best and boast about it? If your life, if your Facebook profile picture is not really you, it's you modeling something, you're insecure. And you need to ask yourself, why might that be? The greatest person you could ever be is strong enough to be your own name. The only brands I, Philip Edward Alexander, own, my son Joshua buys for me. And I don't have much of them, and I don't get to wear them often. But my brand is the work that I do, always. All of my clothes are working clothes. Every time you see me, I am wearing either plain black, because I've decided that black is easy to wear. I'm taking a tip from Steve Jobs, black t-shirts, black track pants, and I'm comfortable and I'm cool. If COVID-19 taught me, and not just taught, it put an exclamation mark behind the way I've been living for a long time. That humble humility, deal with your needs, not your wants, because your wants are things to dust. Your wants are what you need security guards to look after. Nobody needs paintings in their house worth hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. Nobody needs stuff that other people want to steal. People, and don't get me wrong, there are people who will thief anything. But I was told once, any dollar beyond need is greed. I don't own a single item of jewelry. Nothing. I was walking through West Mall when Glenn's jewelry was there, Glenn Lianza. And he had a nice watch. I don't even know if you remember, because he was there. He sold it to me. He had a nice watch in the window. And I went in there, and I said, you know what, boy, Phil? You ain't buy yourself something in a long time. It was a nice watch. I buy the watch, and I put it in my hand. It feel nice. Had some good weight. I was happy with it. And I went to visit my parents. My father watched it, and he said, but that is a nice watch. I said, try it on. I said, yes, bro. I said, look good on you. It's yours. And I realized that my job was to take the watch to him. And that may sound overly cliche. But the reason things are cliches is because they've stood the test of time. I saw Rudy Curry on the thread earlier. And there were a couple people, when I see them, I feel a surge of hope because they exist. Because this country, this society could have produced that. That who they are came from something. It came from a formula. It came from a recipe. We need more of that. We need more people who are willing to be their best self for their best self purpose and to the benefit of everybody around them. Not that that's what they're doing, you know. But because they are their best self, it lights the way of the world. That's who we need to be. Gandhi said, there is more than enough in this world for every man's need. There is not enough in this world for one man's greed. And that is a fact. We spend in this world, I don't want to go on a rant that way, but we spend in this world on weapons of war more money in a day than it will take to pay for poverty in a year. And if that don't tell you how stupid human beings are, nothing else will. I believe firmly that this Wuhan virus, I believe that this COVID-19 bullshit is an act of war. I believe this is bioterror. I actually believe this is bio-warfare. I don't think this came out of any bat from any... That's bullshit. That's total bullshit. I don't believe it. And I believe that a lot of what is being done in response to it, because I watch the UNC deal with Faris building, knowing that it was wrong. I want to say it criminal, but I had to mind my words. That it was wrong the way the lease was done, and the UNC had the opportunity to break that lease, mash it up, and send the house on the way. But instead, the UNC chose to continue on to do wrongdoing, to spend ridiculous amounts of money in contracts to friends and family to outfit a building 50 and 100 times what it's worth. I've asked this morning to the Prime Minister, you say you want to save the people money. You don't want the police to buy SUVs, buy a cheaper car. Don't spend that 22 million on the SUVs you want. No problem. I want to ask you, the same man, if you believe what you said, tell me, Keith Rowley, what did you spend $53 million on to build Carenage Police Station when any quantity surveyor worth their salt and any ethical contractor would tell you there's hardly $10 million there. So where the other $43 million gone? Now, I say that, and I can't accuse anybody, because in Trinidad and Tobago, there is no accounting to the people, and it comes full circle. That $43 million extra, if it was stolen, I want to tell you, $10 million could build a 5-story building and equip it and air condition it. And that's not what they built. $10 million could do that. And there are enough good and decent contractors. Of course, we replete with the criminals, with the people who see others' teeth, and instead of going to help, choose to thief themselves, position themselves as, how do I get on that gravy train? So how do we fix this country? How do we fix Trinidad and Tobago if we, the people who have control of everything, by our vote, by our labor, and by our consumption, if we can't use that sensibly? Here it is.
addressed.
It's not in the document. This is one of the
Just now.
things
I want to start
we need
over.
to talk to people about.
Let me take that one. I'm glad you raised that.
I want you to hear Keith Rowley and Colm Imbert lie to Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to hear this for yourself from the start. The ease with which the two of them lied to everybody. All right?
One of the more contentious issues in the last general election was that of the property tax. Where in the PNM's manifesto is this addressed?
It's not in the document. This is one of the things we need to talk to people about.
Let me take that one. I'm glad you raised that. I heard a UNC minister, I think it was the famous Prakash Ramadar, telling people that the PNM will bring back the dreaded property tax. Let me make it abundantly clear. The property tax has already been dealt with. So for anybody in the government now to be telling the population that this PNM coming into office will bring back that tax is the highest level of dishonesty which has been the hallmark of this UNC government. So
Headlines today. The same double-tongued deceiver, Keith Rowley, is telling the nation that the people must pay property tax. Now, the conversation we need to have about property tax, we can't do in 3 minutes. So I won't add it to this conversation. I just want to expose them to themselves. They say you must hang people on the petard of their own words, on the gallows of the words that they said. He is a double-tongued deceiver. Keith Rowley's #1 contradictor is himself. He and the entire PNM have built a legacy on a web of lies. And they've used those lies to manipulate their voter base and convince them. You see how we have to say it is the legacy of a corrupt UNC? No, the UNC is corrupt. Who doesn't know that, doesn't want to know that? Who doesn't know that the UNC is corrupt, doesn't want to know? They want to pretend that because you want your people in, you have to not see the wrongdoing of your people. And that makes you wrong too. Because we could have fixed this a long time ago. We, the people of Trinidad, I'm talking my liver strings out every night, and I could be wasting my freaking time, no problem. But we could have fixed this a long time ago if what we ever wanted was a country where your children get a good life, because I want that for mine. And if we ever stop to think about the elders, you think about your mother. Everybody loves their mother. You want to know who's a sociopath, a psychopath, a criminal? Ask them how they feel about their mother. Everybody loves your mother. You come from that woman. And if you can't have, and if you can't think about the last days of your mother and what you want them to be for her, because when you're not there, you don't know what she's going through and what they're dealing with. And if they end up in a hospital, they call for ambulance, they have gone by medicine, what her income is like or what it might be, what yours are. Plenty of people in this country, Petrochem workers, WASA workers, TSTT workers, TNTech workers, public sector workers, people with businesses, plenty of them walk through this life heavy because they thought that they were safe. And then life intervened and showed them that they're not safe. I have to explain to my son today, there is a difference between finance and cash flow and profitability. And you need to know when your business is generating self-sustaining and that you're not financing it. Because if you are continuously injecting capital for it to deliver the results that you need, it's not self-sustaining. And in Trinidad and Tobago, because we were ripping off and robbing all of these companies, they never got a chance to self-sustain. So we never knew what the companies were. And we have a smorgasbord of people from organizations, special purpose companies, parliamentarians, ministers, an auditor general, a central bank. We have all of these people. Push aside law enforcement for a minute. Because if they have no laws to enforce, I mean, you could get locked up for thief and corned beef and avocado, but you can't get locked up. There is no system in Trinidad and Tobago for them to come and question who authorized $53 million for a $10 million police station. Who authorized $500 million to the Red House? Who said it was okay to spend $17 million of taxpayers' money on a cottage behind President's house that's not worth $2? Who said it was okay to spend $5 million on a contractor to pull up a fire engine that's not worth $500,000? Where does that fit in Trinidad and Tobago? When we're talking the shit about we enforcing the law, which laws are we enforcing? Because I'm telling you something, $5 million could have buy a lot of corned beef and avocado, and we're gonna let them people go. Because 99 times out of 100, if somebody thieving food, they're hungry. We've never had a proper government in Trinidad and Tobago. Not one of them. And you could cherry pick in the PNM and the UNC. And I tell you something, right now, I talk about the 510,000 people that are considered the base of the UNC. The 485,000 people who are considered the base of the PNM. Those two groups of people, they have the responsibility for Trinidad and Tobago right now. They do. The rest of us have a responsibility, but the people to whom much is given, much is expected. The UNC and the PNM supporters have the power to break race voting in this country. And you see how 125,000 people lit candles, signed petitions. That many people. You want to riot in the street? You can riot on a social media platform. Cut your Balize card. Cut your UNC card. Go in your yard and light the yellow jersey and the red jersey on fire and burn it to ashes and kick the ashes away. And I tell you why. Because until the members and the supporters of these parties tell them they're doing wrong, they have no motivation or incentive to do right. And you don't understand until it is all you have, until you've lost everything else and have to examine. Because, and I don't pray this for nobody, but there was a time in my life when I was already a father and I had a 6-year-old son. I lost everything in the world. Everything. I want to say everything. There's a slow descent that I went through where I started sleeping by my parents for a little bit, then by a friend, and then on the floor, and then in a car, and it got bad. I lost my way, and there was nothing. And I had to rebuild from that. And that experience taught me more than anything else I've ever gone through in life. That experience taught me how the world is really set up and what is really valuable. And I have never forgotten that lesson. And I went on to all kind of success after. I mean, you know me. By now, everybody in politics is supposed to be able to say, Philip is either a jackass or he really serious. Because you had to be a jackass to not know if what you're trying to get is a political end. You look at the political skujums in the PNM and the UNC. Not one of them could debate me. They can have a conversation with me. They will hide and talk about me. And they will put political money behind fake profiles and fake organizations like UNC Cabal. I know the PNM paying for that. But I know, and I know that not even the political leaders, Kamla Prasad Bissessa, cannot have a conversation with you from her heart like I do every night. Every night. Nothing here is scripted. I write some reminders on a piece of paper. That's what this book is. Reminders while I'm talking. Don't forget to mention this. But everything we talk about here, straight from the heart. That's what I believe. And you know, those of you who have been here long enough, and that's why all the attacks they're attacking me, they're getting hit back so hard that they weren't expecting it. They weren't expecting, they thought that they would get likes and shares, that they would attack Philip, and people would say, hey, look your boy, look your boy. Instead, people who I don't know, and I thank all of you. I thank all of you for showing that much courage to stand up for somebody that you don't know. You know me through this medium, and you know me through the work that I do. And to stand up and say to them, hey, that is not the way. You can't be doing that. We're not accepting that. Those things, right now, are what is wrong with our politics. They're what is wrong with our politics. Kamla Persad Bissessa and Keith Rowley are what is wrong with our politics. Colm Imbert is what is wrong with our politics. There is no PNM supporter could explain Colm Imbert. Not one of them. All they know is that political advantage has him there and benefiting from it. But he's not been a benefit to Diego Martin Northeast, where he's been the member of parliament for quite some time. So it is only the machinations of tribal voting that will ironically give them the voting race. They vote in blackface and have Colm Imbert as their member of parliament. Because the PNM has made itself into a cult that has destroyed the fortunes of the mass of their supporters. 485,000 people that are the traditional base, according to the media and all the political scientists. They use those words, not me. But according to them, those 485,000 grandchildren of Africa are the traditional base of the PNM. And it is they who live in Morva, Beetham, Laventille, Sealots, River Estate, Patna, Covine, Mason, Rich Plain, La Puerta, Saganga, Abbey Pujad, Big Yard, Scorpion, Hague Street, Point Cumana, St. Peter's, Caranage, Cocorit, Waterhole, Harding Place. It is their people who the PNM says it is for that have been carrying the shitty end of the stick in this country. Voices from the ghetto, they're crying because of the PNM. In this country, the people who have their knee on your neck is the PNM. And you, each and every one of you who support the PNM, like each and every one of the UNC supporters, has to find a way to justify why a party that is criminally corrupt gets your support. What does it say about you? Because, and I'm telling you this, I could have touched down in either or a long time ago. Not now. Now they have groups and cabals inside. And the only time they're going to want to deal with me now is because I am too big. And they hope that they could benefit either from using the size that I am politically to win, both of them, or as a nuisance factor. It's better we deal with him than have him attacking us. But that's not what's on offer. I'm not trying to offer that. I'm not interested in those deals. I'm interested in a better Trinidad and Tobago. I've stayed true to my course. Jericho Project is 28 years old this year. The Jericho Project was built to serve the homeless, the orphans, the disabled community. For 28 years, we've done that. We've not made a political mileage out of it. We've done that. We've impacted the lives of more people at the grassroots level than any of these politicians. And I will guarantee you that. Because I know what we've done. I see when people put out a wheelchair or a crutches, how they like to big up themselves. And if I was to tell every single person who benefited that way from me to come on a stage, we can't build a stage that big. And one person came, I remember, in Belmont, and she just came and she showed up and I saw her there. And she just came and she said, Mr. Philip, I see what you're doing and I just need to come and endorse you. And I was happy that she did it, but it didn't feel right. I don't want my activism to be part of this politics. The politics can't be a lie. The politics can't be a fight down. The politics can't be the end justifies the means. If we can't change, if we can't say, you know what? Keep your racist politics. I'm not just an Indian. I'm a Trinbagonian. I'm not just African. I'm a Trinbagonian. I'm not just a Syrian. I'm a Trinbagonian. I'm not living till I'm dead keeping people at arm's length, trying to see how nice I could get it. I want to live in a country where everybody have it so nice that my people have it nice. And that all are we nice. And if you can't think along those lines, then we already broken. We already gone. We dead man walking. We waiting to fall over. And I know there are plenty of people who manish in their belly. Talk a crocus bag of shit. And that's all right. You could defend it. Rowley! They're a police officer. And I know. But one day you'll quietly sit down on the other side of a table from somebody and get an indictment on your health, on your life, when all of these energies that you've sent forth into the universe to do other people wrong come back to you. And I believe that. And I've told the universe and all the gods that exist, everything that I have to carry as a weight, any rewards from it, spread it to the people that I love. My back broad now, skin like alligator leather. Can't say nothing about me. I'm talking to somebody today. He said, boy, Phil, you know what people love about you? They have nothing they say about you. Nothing. And you're still standing. You're still standing. And I know he watching. The man who tell me that today. He said, there are people in my house that don't talk to one another, but everybody will sit down together and watch your video. And people look forward to it. And that's why I let it run a little longer these days. Because truth be told, and don't tell anybody, but I love doing this. Somebody asked me on the thread while Stephen Hardy was talking, Philip is a Syrian, S-E-R-I-O-N, that PNM education that they boast about. Philip is a Syrian. When you get into office, and you go forget about me and just do for your family. I have 10 active lawsuits going on right now. 7 are Syrians. So you tell yourself, you answer for yourself. There are people in this country that do not want me to speak. And that is one of the largest incentives as to why I speak. I will not be silenced. And as long as I am able to share what I have and what I know, I will share it for free. The mission was always inform, educate, and empower. I love that Stephen Hadid came on this video tonight. There have other people in the Syrian community, and you all have to come to terms and stop the bullshit, because that was a damning thing that was done. That was so stupid, what Peter George Sr. and Mario Sabga, that shit that they talk in that video, the olive oil drizzling video, damaged the Syrian community in this country. And if they had an ounce of self-preservation, they would stop trying to fight people like Susie Hadid did and cause me a beautiful friendship with her brother Peter, because now Peter don't want to be my friend. I had to accept that, but I had to put Susie in her place. You can't be disrespecting people and telling them who jealous and who vexed and all that shit. You can't do that. You can't. Life has been fought. Life has been good to you. Be good to life. Be good back to life. All of it is life. All of it. All of it. Gary Aboud, Stephen Hadid, Ghassan Youssef, Rudy Curry, Orphan Paul Sabga. There are a lot of good, and Adam Aboud. When I go into Adams, I know Adam just watch me. I know Adams is ground central for the 1%. And I know this, what Philip doing inside of here, I know. And that's why I go there. And the day Adam tell me, Phil, you gotta stop coming here. They have nothing Adam selling that I will die without, you know. But I like the bread. And Bella like the bread. They have something called whole wheat farm loaf that she loves. And I want to tell you, Kiss, of all companies, brought out a bread called True. And I was coming to tell you all that it is a very good bread. And it's organic and it tastes real good. True whole wheat. They do a good job with that. Kiss, of all people. And I will always give Jack his jacket and Jim his gym boots. But, and I'm saying this, Adam Aboud is a good guy. I grew up with Adam. And a lot of these people I have grown up with, and I've known them all of my life. And life presents all of us with choices. And having been through some of the things that I've been through, nobody could have judged me if I decided after I get back on top that all I wanted to do was hoard shit and not take that chance again. But going through it walking in the valley of the shadow of death, that Psalm, 23rd Psalm, going through it teaches you, when you come out on the other side, a lot of the fear that you went in with, you leave in the valley. Because the things that you thought would crush you, you survive them. You come out stronger. Not to boast, not to beat your chest, and not to use your strength to elevate yourself. You are now a better person that could send positive ripples forward into the world. That's the mission. As the mission, I sit down in a meeting today with Felicia, Sean, and Satish. And I know the pressure that I put in on those three. I know it. But it's only because they are good people. They have good hearts. They're not doing this for me. But they see this as a means to an end. And that the end that they want is a better place for their family. And if you all benefit from it too, fantastic. And that's how we should all live. We should all live that way, with our vote, with our labor. If you're working in an organization, the boss is an asshole, but you're dealing with customers, don't channel the asshole boss when you're dealing with the customers. Because you never know when you could be talking to somebody who could say, hey, see that work that you just do? I want to hire you and pay you better. Every opportunity is an audition. And the best resume that you could ever have is how you carry yourself and how you live. And I have been begging for a debate with anybody, live, for you to see. Not to get you to vote for me, but for you to see the paper tigers that you support. You believe them to have ability and capacity. What they have is they're fortunate and they have the advantage of the power of money to buy themselves into a position. But don't get it wrong. You do not have a single leader. And there are some good people in the PNM and the UNC. In their ranks, they have some good people. But they're not leadership material, and they've never demonstrated, people, with the exception, and I want to tell you this, with the absolute exception of David Nakid, who I think is only in politics to help people, because he don't need this shit. And he certainly don't need to be in the UNC that don't know how to stand with one another or for one another to build a party with a proper ideology and a culture and a plan and a goal so everybody rowing in the same direction. The only thing the UNC know it want is to win an election, and that's why they can't. That's why they can't, because everybody else looking at them as all you're coming across thirsty. You're not coming across as a leader. And we're stuck with this jackass. Keith Rowley is nobody's leader. He fooled us, he conned us, he stole Patrick Manning's job. Now, Patrick Manning may have been a madman. I didn't know where I'm going with this. I don't know what to tell you was going to come out of it. But the secret society bullshit that built the PNM, have it on a mission to rob and pillage and thief. It never was about you. It never was about Trinidad and Tobago. You can't make and lose $3 trillion. You gotta be an ass. A country that have more water falling on it than it could ever use. How could WASA fail? How? How is it possible for WASA to fail? WASA could generate electricity to power the country just with water. Water and Sewage Authority should also be the Electricity Commission, because we have enough water flowing through this country to generate electricity in this country. We waste Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody who goes to work at the Desalcott plant, working in an organization that is taking food out of children's mouth because we don't need Desalcott. We don't. Carolyn Sipasad Bechan on a show one morning with me, and this is why these people can't work with me politically, tried to explain that Desalcott had a purpose in a country that has more water than it could ever. If Trinidadians disappeared from this island in 50 years, this is a complete rainforest. Because we have more rain than we could use. It falls from the sky on the land normal. We have used our engineering to capture all of that water and throw it away in the sea. That's what we've done. We built an education system that rewards a few people so that the secret society bullshit behind these that control the power behind the thrones already have their heirs identified, and they need to pass through a school system that benefits them. But the rest have to be employees. And the system is rigged. Because there's nothing that you could say to me. There is no educator alive who could convince me that there is a reason Fatima College is a prestige school and across the road Mukorapo Secondary isn't. There's nothing, unless you want to come racially and tell me the people and their color and their home and the bullshit. Bullshit. India come from a ghetto life that we could never understand. At our worst, that was what they aspired to. India had its stink. My brother used to tell me, he went and adopted a little girl, Yuvati, for 10 years now, from the ghetto. She'll never really appreciate the vast difference. My niece, his daughter. We in Trinidad and Tobago pretend, and we are very good at lying to each other. And a lot of this y'all don't want to hear. Y'all, people wanted Stephen Hadid, people wanted this interview tonight to be about charge them up, wild them up in the street boy Phil, I bring him a dustbin cover. Hell no, Rowley must go, and all that bullshit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. What is going to work is my brother's keeper politics. Blind to race and religion and any other social division. I don't care who you're sleeping with. I don't care who you're praying to. That's not my business. When it comes to politics, once all of us want better for everybody else, that's all I'm concerned about. If you're in politics and you only care about yourself, kiss off. Yeah? We started earlier, we finished later. I want to say again, I want to share my mother's number because she's harassing me for this lady who needs this walker. My mother's number is 754-2390. If you want to call her to find out what kind of walker it is this lady needs, because I can't remember. But I know it's an elderly lady, and my mother has her own charity where she helps the desperately poor. And this person obviously reached out to her, and she's trying to solve that problem. Don't forget, all of these polo shirts are on sale. Felicia Holder, 769-4590. Reach out to her. Reach out to her also if you would like to come on board as a donor and help this organization grow, because that's what we need to do. The Citizens Union is a bridge, is a platform, is an umbrella, is a place and a space where every creed and race can come together, not politically, but to stand with each other. The strength of the wolf is the pack. The strength of the pack is the wolf. Citizens Union philosophy. Sign-ups as a member, sign up as a business affiliate, come on board. Satish, don't forget my charger, this block thing, I need one of these. And to the whistleblowers, send your pics, your videos to me. Send anything, keep it simple so that if it is something that we're interested in, we will follow up with you. If it is not something that we could follow up, don't throw no tantrum. I'm not in public office. We're trying our best to do our best. And if that helps you, then great. Yeah, we're going to be busting marks. I know people want that kind of thing. They want that more than anything. And I don't know if the politics needs another person just busting marks. I'm exposing things with the hope that we get some kind of response, some kind of change, something that works in the interest of the people. And I don't know. I don't know what again to say to get those who trapped in the UNC and the PNM to see that this country could be something better than those visions of a corrupt, tribally divided country. I don't know what else I can say, but I will keep trying, and hopefully we will make an impact where something will come out of this and we will find a way forward. The little song as a goodbye.
Every day I sit and wonder how this sweet island gets so bitter. Low salary but cost of living gets higher. inhumane behavior. Things now turned upside down. Smiling faces becomes a frown. Guns galore, we now live in fear. People no longer seems to care. My heart is filled with pain and agony. I see a man begging for mercy. They rob him and they shoot up his body. I can't take no more. I pray for me safely. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, bring it back. Like
Long ago, what was mine was yours too.
bring it back. Peace and harmony, my red, white and black country. Oh, 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 hey, hey. Bring it back, I say.
Hurry up.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, high.
All I see is darkness all over.
Stray bullets have running for cover. Shedding tears has become so natural. Humans behaving more like animals.
No respect for values anymore.
Even the lawmakers breaking the law. Who can we trust? Tell me who to save. Is there undertakers? Dig new bread.
Wailing and balling is the new band launching.
New sizes of boxes we measuring. Nearly all household you're hearing a morning. Live on a movie entering Bego now showing. Bring it back. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, bring it back. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Bring it back. Peace and harmony,
My red, white, and black country.
I'm pleading with you,
Pleading with you, Lord. Bring back the nation.
like it's blood and crime take over.
The rich and all feeling the pressure.
People die like flies, yet we fight. What would it take for us to unite? Look how we children them going astray, and the poor hold on to faith each day. So all who hear my message and play dumb, many go pay in time to come. So all the innocent lives they taking, the mind and the souls they corrupting. Everything has a price to pay on a great, great judgment day. Sweetie auntie, land of the milk and honey, sweet family, the way that it used to be, like long ago. What was mine was yours too. Peace and harmony, my red, white and black country.
A fun series of events in Finland. Postal Service cuts pay of 700 sorters. Strike called. 60,000 workers join in solidarity. Shutting down docks, rails, buses, airlines. Postal Service cancels pay cut. Minister of State Ownership resigns. Prime Minister resigns. Lord Father, I put that in your hand. Let that fall like rain on my people. Get them to understand the power that 1.4 million of us have before there is nothing less to say. Left to say. A place with situations in your hands. You can destroy, turn our sorrows into joy. Forgive us, Father, we have sinned. Turn back this sword, oh Lord, I'm bleeding.
Change the hearts of the wicked ones. Guide and protect all your daughters and sons through this perilous times. I know
Bring it back.
Sweet family, the way that it used to be. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Peace and harmony, my red, white, and black country. Bring it back, I say.
Bring it back, I say. Bring it back, I say. Hey, hey.
When it take a village to grow a child, and all we do was smile. Bring the country back, I say. When we eat from the same pot, we drink from the same cup.
My red, white, and black country.
When we look out for each other,
We are all brothers keeper.
my red, white, and black country, sweet family.
My red, white, and black country. Adelon Brave Boy Banjala. But now they will come and they will try it, but I'll tell you something, there are few will be able to match that, what you put together there. I don't know, boy, I don't know. Somebody just send me this, Actually, you know what, I'll just post it on my wall. So go to the Philip Edward Alexander wall and you will see it. Thank you, Natasha Mohammed, for sending it to me. I've shared it. Yeah. So it's on the Philip Edward Alexander wall. Those of you who get a WhatsApp from me, you'll get it shortly when this is done. Those of you who don't get a WhatsApp from me, it is because there may have been some problem in your transmitting your name to me and getting it put up on the WhatsApp broadcast list. There are two types of things that you could join with us WhatsApp. You could join the groups, and that is opt-in. You just sign up, you go in and you're in. There is the broadcast list where I send out broadcasts to thousands of people. And if you would like to be on that list, hear me say this as clear as I could. Send just your name, nothing else, not even the word hi. Because we need to copy your name and paste it into something to save it. If you send anything other than just your name, we have to ignore it. So you're wasting your time and you're wasting ours for reading it. Just send your name to 682-2110 and we will add you to the WhatsApp broadcast, and that will keep you informed. If you don't get notifications for any reason, you'll get it through the WhatsApp, because the first 3 minutes of every video that I do, I send out a WhatsApp to all the WhatsApp members to let them know the Phil is about to go live. I appreciate all of the love and all of the support and all of the help. I appreciate all of the outpouring. I want to say this is a we thing. This is all of us. We will make mistakes. I am not perfect. Somebody sent me something here. I want to read it. Tell me how I should deal with this. Tell me. I want some advice. You could message me on 682-2110 and tell me how to deal with this. Of course, now I'm trying to find it while all you're filling up the thing. So this is what they said, right? That was not the best, possibly the worst interview one could expect. Hope for more for the business community. Hope for a hands-on suffering voice. He came off as a grandstander. So he bluffed and created a stand that he would not stand behind. Where's your backing? There, Philip. Waiting. Thank you. I want to say, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, want to go from 0 to 1,000. We need the business community that calling for this should have been organized enough so that they could have dealt with this. When I say organized enough, that they could have dealt with the government. Because the same thing I read about Finland, that the entire business community should have shut down. Everybody. But we're not so. We're mercenary. Everybody want to eat a food and make a bag of money. So they don't care. They don't care about you and your business. Apps, the thief, what you selling and sell it now. That's how we went. That's why Trinidad fails. It's not because of the government. We put them there. They're from us. Rowley and Kamle from Mars. They're from we. We choosing them. I tell the Venezuelans, all you choose Chavez twice. All you went and take him out of jail and vote him into office. All you choose that for. They say, we've chosen this. They come from we. So we expect that somehow right now we're not happy. Bam, mash it up, throw it down. Stand off, police. We want that on the news. And then what? If this was a real country, if we cared about each other, it's a little country. We don't need 60,000 businesses to stand together. 5,000 would make the right point. That would make the news. But nobody want to sacrifice. And nobody want to be the one to say, I will put my own aside to make a point. So they're looking for the wrong things. And when they come my way, they're looking for the wrong things from me. I will never encourage lawlessness. And I will never. David Welch of Trinity Trio is organizing a motorcade. And he called me and he asked me if I would join them on their motorcade. And I said to David, I said, brother, you and I are friends. So if you are having a motorcade and everything is shipshape and you make your applications and you get through and everything, of course I'll be there with you, because I know that you have a political position and you represent the UNC, and I get that. But I also think that David Welch, that young man, I think that he wants a better Trinidad and Tobago. And there are not much options. Not everybody could build a party. Not everybody could do this. This is hard work. By the time you see me, we've done hours of meetings in the day just to organize crap like t-shirts to sell to make money. Because we don't have drug lord financing and corruption. We don't have that. So everything that we have to pay, we have to make the money to pay. So I can't knock people for where they end up politically. If you have a political desire in the country, people say, why did I really think? Why didn't speak up earlier? Why didn't speak up louder? Why didn't Pelta Mango? But the same people who ask you those questions, I could turn the same question back to them. Why didn't you? And again, there are people who go missing in this country, and people ask me, well, I'm all in the candlelight movement, why don't come out? This is not who we are. We stood up for Andrea. We stood up for Andrea. We made an example of what you could do. Others need to stand up too. It's 1.4 million of us. You could imagine if the business community of Trinidad and Tobago told the government collectively, from the very high to the smallest parlor, that's not how you deal with us. You're treating us like children, mind us. We'll shut the whole thing down. Send food for all of we. Because if all are we, or none are we, and if we learn to stand up like that, once one are we suffering, all are we suffering, we know that the day they come to turn it on we, all the people we stood with should stand with us. And that will become the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. If you touch one, you touch all. And we don't have to wile up. It doesn't have to be a madness. It don't have to be break the law. It don't have to be standoff with police. It doesn't have to be. And if we are going to stand up or sit down, the more we could do it law-abiding, lawful, and peaceful, it will make the transition from bullshit, incompetent, tribal politics to all are we rowing in the same direction. Because, don't get me wrong, no matter who you're voting, it could be Jesus Christ you're voting to office there. The what? Now start. Because you have to stop this Titanic before it hit the iceberg. And that might be impossible almost at this point. But we have to do these things together. You can't be doing it half the people bitching and moaning. It ain't gonna go nowhere. Anyway. So yeah, David Welch is having a motorcade. Look out for that information and give him some support. And again, I want to say this. And the Andrea effect will be with me forever. Andrea Barrett has made it possible for former adversaries to now become contemporaries and friends. And I can respect people in their different roles and still say to you, I am your friend. When you call me on the phone, if it is something that I could do, I will do. Yeah? So I think that should be it for tonight. My cousin just wrote me a WhatsApp. Susan Acui Camacho, the owner of El Pecos, she asked me, how come we not on the Citizens Union list? I said, you are. You may not know it yet, so I'll send the information to you. So Felicia Holder, ma'am, please make sure, Satish, that El Pecos knows that they are part of the business catalog and include them, please. And any other business out there, don't have to be related to me or any of us. You could just say, I want to work together with the Citizens Union to give benefits to your members and to have your members choose us as a first destination to shop. And just send us the information, reach out to Satish Ramsaran, reach out to Felicia Holder, reach out to any of the members. Yeah? I think that's it. I don't think there's anything more. Let me just check my WhatsApp in case they're pinging me to remind me of this and that. Okay, we're getting a lot of people signing up. Right, okay, so we're good to go until tomorrow.